Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Hopsworks 5-minute interviews. Really great to be here again, and very thankful for all the reactions that we've been getting on the socials on the videos that we've been putting out there. Keep those coming, please. And today I have a really nice guest on the other side of this Google meeting, and that is Maria Vechtomova. I knew I was going to butcher it, so Vechtomova. Sorry about that, Maria. Welcome to this recording.
Thank you for inviting me over, Rick. It's really a pleasure. I've watched some interviews that you were doing. I think it's amazing work you're doing. So keep it up.
Fantastic. Yeah, great. Now, the reason why I wanted to interview you is obviously because you're very active in the field. Not many people may actually know exactly who you are. So would you mind introducing yourself? Who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, of course. So I'm a machine learning engineer or MLOps engineer, actually, mix of that and a tech lead as well. I'm in the field for already 10 years. Started as a data analyst, moved into data science and then machine learning engineering. And I'm doing MLOps for the last 7 years. I don't think many people can say that.
No, yeah.
It's before MLOps became a thing. And I have built a MLOps platform all over, again, many times with different tools. And that's really passion of me. I really like doing that and I know how to do that. So currently I'm working at Ahold Delhaize in central organization. So we have 19 different brands, mostly food retailers. It's one of the largest food retail companies in the world. And all of the brands have the same needs. They want to have the same types of models in production and also the same tool stack. So it doesn't make any sense to reinvent the wheel. And basically, I lead the development of the framework. I'm acting as a product owner and tech lead, and also I still develop myself. And I don't think I ever want to stop developing because I like writing code too much.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Super cool. And maybe it's worth mentioning, on the socials, you've got quite a bit of a following, and you've done an amazing job at creating new content there. And what's the story behind that? Is that a side job, or is that something that you do after hours, or
Yeah.
Like that?
So I think sharing knowledge was always something that I like doing. So I enjoy presenting at the conferences. And at some point, we created quite a lot of content internally at Ahold Delhaize together with my colleague Bashak. She doesn't work at Ahold Delhaize anymore. She is now part of Booking.com. But we still continue together as Marvelous MLOps that you may have seen on socials.
Yes.
So basically, we wanted to start sharing our knowledge. And we started Marvelous MLOps. We started putting up articles. We started writing posts. And it kind of went from there. We've got a lot of positive reactions, met a lot of amazing people. So I think it's been a great journey so far. And we are dedicated to continue doing so for upcoming years. It's really been fun. So
Super cool.
it's a side thing, really.
But I mean, still, you can share this internally, externally. Whoever can benefit from it, right? It's,
definitely. So I think it's great that there is so much content now coming up on this topic, and it's important to talk about it.
Yeah, fantastic. And we'll definitely link to it in the transcription of this video for sure. But maybe you can talk a little bit about how you got into the field. How you got into first data science and MLOps. You said you 7 years is quite a long journey into that field already. So how did you get into it? Say something about that.
I studied econometrics at university, and I didn't really like economics. And the only thing I liked about it is, I think, using R. I like that, and I like the data. So macroeconomics projects were fun, and so naturally I was looking for something related to data. And data analytics was a thing back then. So I was applying for multiple jobs, and I chose KPN. It's a telecom company in the Netherlands. So I started as a data analyst there. I was building models in our churn and acquisition models for the business market, for the mobile mostly. And then I moved to another department. We had an amazing team. We were called Advanced Analytics. We were doing more data science, really. We started doing things in Python, so I learned Python back then. And we were building our first APIs. And then no one could put those in production. So it kind of was natural to transition to machine learning engineering because you had to figure it out on your own. So we teamed up with software engineers, which were really nice at KPN. So we teamed up with some people that knew something about it. We knew our part. So together we came up with something that could be used in production.
It's MLOps before it was called MLOps almost.
And also we created a framework.
Yep.
It's actually essentially an experiment tracking system and you could say model registry kind of thing. So a lot of functionality that you see now in those tools, we built it ourselves back then with Teradata as backend, and we had Python package that was interacting with Teradata. And yeah, it was pretty forward thinking back then.
Yep.
And we were using CI/CD, an orchestration system. Well, we were misusing some of tools from Teradata. It was called Aster as compute. But also then we moved to Kubernetes. So we were deploying jobs on Kubernetes. And it was all abstraction layer for data scientists. So they didn't have to do much about it. They just had to take our cookie cutter template with the pipelines, and everything was set up for them from there. So it was really easy for data scientists to use. And we saved a lot of time, because before bringing anything to production took forever. It had to go through some other department. And basically giving freedom to data scientists, that's something that I truly believe in. And I see that it works. I've done that again at Ahold Delhaize, and it works. So this kind of philosophy, giving freedom and enabling data scientists, that's what MLOps is really about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think it's a similar kind of experience that we've had at Hopsworks, with feature stores and stuff like that. It's one of those components, right, that help you bring stuff to production faster. So maybe you can talk a little bit about why you think this is such a relevant field. Obviously everyone's talking about LLMs these days, but that's not the only type of machine learning or artificial intelligence out there. And what do you think is the importance of this? Why do you think it is so important?
So most of the use, I think LLM ops is also part of MLOps, and LLM ops is not very different to traditional NLP. Really. So maybe there are some pieces of it that are specific, like compute-intensive applications, but for the rest, it's a lot of the same type of infrastructure you need for it, and the same type of flows and processes that you have. But most of the models that you have in organizations, they are pretty simple, really. It's like GBM, demand forecasting, some recommender systems, some classification problems, churn prediction, or things like that. So like majority, I would say more than 90% of everything that companies do is quite basic machine learning. And you need to have good systems in place to track how your models are performing, to deploy it easily, to make changes easily, to roll back. And those practices, some companies may have them, but majority still is not doing it right. I think no one is actually really doing it right. But I think there is more and more understanding of how much value it brings. Like people, I'm sure, have seen models going down for a week and no one noticing it. Money, things like that happens. Well, now we see actual value. Business cares. If model is down, you lose money. You need to have processes in place, like for any application, to be able to track it.
Make it highly available and operationally well governed, and all those types of things. That becomes more and more important as the business case grows, right? So
and also AI regulations that are coming. I think the governance piece is crucial, and that's why also like model registries, feature stores, and other tools used for MLOps are really useful here. You need to track for any model deployment what code was used to produce the result, what data exactly was used to produce the result, what infrastructure, what environment, and you need to know it for any run that you have, and you want to roll back. And I don't think most of the systems have built with this in mind at the moment.
Very true. We can talk about this for a long time. It sounds
for sure.
And so that's not the intention of this recording. I will put a bunch of links in the notes, obviously. But I want to finish by asking you the same question that I ask everyone. Which is, are there any kind of resources or books or videos or something like that you would recommend that people take a look at? I mean, obviously Marvelous MLOps, but maybe this is something else that you can recommend as well.
Yeah, of course. We actually constantly recommend other learning resources, and we even created a roadmap. So actually on our Substack, we have the whole post about roadmap and learning resources where we say what resources might be useful. But if I just need to name some people, I think Paul Justin, I hope I pronounce his name correctly. He's from Romania. He is an amazing content creator. We did Ask Me Anything session together, and I've
interviewed him, by the way. He's getting published on this series as well. So
amazing. He's great. And Pau, of course, you also had an interview with Pau. So those content creators are great. If I need to recommend some bigger content creators that are there for a while, like Chip Huyen, I hope I pronounced her name correctly. She wrote a book in ML system design, and she has an amazing blog, really now going a lot into LLMs. But I really like her blog. And Evgeny Yan, also a very nice blog. And the MLOps community, of course, there is a MLOps community. Dimitrios creates a lot of amazing LLM in production conferences. We will be presenting there, by the way, in February. So yeah, there's just
Lots
so
of
many
great people.
people.
We will put some of those links in the transcription, and yeah, that's really fantastic that you can point people that way. Maria, thank you so much for taking the time to do this short little video. We know that we try to keep them short and snappy. So yeah, really appreciate it, and thank you again, and hope to bump into you in one of the conferences. That would be
Thank
fantastic.
you so much. We totally will. It's a small world.
It's a small world, exactly. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.